Shabbat Shalom. I'm Cantor David Proser from Kempsville Conservative Synagogue, Kehillat Bet HaMidrash in Virginia Beach. And this is our Torah portion commentary for the Saturday Shabbat of March 6th, 2021, corresponding to the 22nd day of the Hebrew month of Adar in the year 5781. We thank Rabbi Joyce Newmark, Rabbi Adam Rosenbaum, Rabbi Joseph Prauser, and the United Synagogue Torah Spark series for their various teachings and publications on this week's Parsha. This Shabbat we read Parshat Ki-Tissa in the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus. It begins on page 523 of the Eitz Chaim Chumash and page 352 of the Hertz. It's also Shabbat Parshat Para, the third of four special Shabbatot preceding Pesach that give messages in special Maftir or Haftorah readings that alert us to the upcoming festivals and our responsibilities as we approach them. Last week's Parsha was devoted to the commandments about the menorah for the Mishkan, the sacred vestments of the priests, and the 7-day consecration celebration of the priests. This week's Parsha Ki-Tissa begins with God instructing Moshe to take a census and a head tax, the duty leveled on all Israelite men aged 20 and older. The age at which military service begins is 1/2 shekel. The flat tax contrasts with the earlier voluntary contributions to the sanctuary, and it establishes a sense of equality and shared value among the Israelites. Coincidentally, we read this section a few weeks ago as a maftir for Shabbat Shekalim, which was read on the Shabbat preceding Rosh Chodesh Adar when the tax was due. The process of outfitting the Mishkan continues with instructions for making the bronze basin, as well as the prescription of aromatic oils, spices, and incense. Bezalel is to be appointed as the leading master craftsman, with Oholiav as his assistant, charged with adorning the sanctuary and recruiting others, gifted artisans, to work with them. God tells Moshe again to remind the people about the importance of the Shabbat, the Sabbath, which forms the basis of the rabbinic understanding of those acts prohibited on Shabbat. Those 39 acts are linked to the creative endeavors and processes required for construction and operation of the tabernacle. Equipped now with detailed instructions about both the sanctuary and the Shabbat, Moshe prepares to descend Mount Sinai with the tablets of the Decalogue. But while he was on the mountain, the people despaired when he did not return in the time that they thought he would. They demanded that Aaron make us a god who will go before us. Aaron submits to their demand and fashions a golden calf. The next day, the people offer sacrifices to it and rise to dance before it. God informs Moshe of Israel's faithlessness and of his desire to destroy the debauched chosen people. Moshe pleads with God to restrain his anger and intended consequences. Descending from Sinai, Moshe finds that Israel has indeed turned to idolatry, worshiping and reveling about the golden calf, constructed for them by the weak, submissive, and all but silent Aaron. In anger, Moshe smashes the tablets of the Decalogue. He has the idolatrous calf burned, ground to powder, and mixed with water, which the Israelites are compelled to drink. Moshe rallies his fellow Levites. Whoever is for the Lord, come to me. The Levites suppress the faithless Israelites by force. 3,000 of the idolaters are killed. Moshe again intercedes on behalf of the nation, which is spared notwithstanding another punitive plague. Moshe communes with God in a uniquely direct manner, face to face, as one man speaks to another. The prophet requests and is provided a more intimate revelation of God's presence, manifested in the 13 attributes that later come to occupy so central a role in the liturgy of our high holidays and our festivals. God renews the covenant, re-emphasizing commandments about idolatry, Passover, firstborn sons and livestock, and the pilgrimage festival cycle. The prohibition against boiling a kid in its mother's milk is repeated, again in the context of festival rites rather than as a dietary discipline. Having carved a new set of tablets bearing the Decalogue, after 40 days, Moshe again descends Mount Sinai. Although he does not know it, his face is now aglow with a wondrous, radiant, awe-inspiring light. As mentioned earlier, this Shabbat is one of 4 special Shabbatot preceding Pesach, Parshat Para. 2 Torah scrolls are removed from the ark. The Sedra of the week, Parshat Ki-Tissa, is read from the first scroll, and from the second, the chapter of Para Aduma, the red cow or red heifer, is read. This Maftir reading is found in the book of Bamidbar, the book of Numbers, chapter 9, verses 1 to 22, found on page 1135 of the Eitz Chaim Chumash and page 856 of the Hertz. This is the decree of the Torah, which God has commanded, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and they shall take to you a completely red cow, which is without blemish, and upon which a yoke has not come." It gives the procedure through which people can purify themselves from the contamination caused by contact with a human corpse. The reading of this chapter was instituted at this time of the year because Jews were required to purify themselves before coming to Jerusalem for the pilgrimage festival of Passover, of Pesach, at which they would also offer the Passover sacrifice. If they were ritually impure, they couldn't bring the sacrifice. So this reading was a reminder to go through the purification ritual if needed, so as to be able to bring the required sacrifice on Pesach. The Haftorah for this week is from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, verses 16 to 38, beginning on page 1287 of the Eitz Chaim Chumash and page 999 of the Hertz. Just like on Shabbat Zachor 2 weeks ago, our Haftorah portion this week relates to the calendar and to the Maftir, to Parshat Para, rather than to our Torah portion of Ki-Tissa. Our Maftir reading contained laws relating to body purification. The object of these laws was to impress upon the Israelites the need for moral purification after the sin of the golden calf. Moral purification is the theme of this Haftorah. In order to restore the people to their land after their exile, moral renewal would be required. It contains the verse, "And I shall sprinkle pure water upon you, that you be cleansed. From all your contamination and from all your filth, I will cleanse you." There are other parallels in the Haftorah between the concepts of sin, represented by contamination, and atonement, represented by purity. Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. Thank you for watching. As always, please be sure to subscribe, to like, and feel free to leave comments below. Shabbat Shalom.